In the quiet corners of history, there are objects that seem almost ordinary, yet they carry with them stories that stretch across decades, across continents, and through the lives of people who may never have imagined their existence. Among these objects, coins hold a special place. They are small, tangible pieces of the past, touched by countless hands, yet often overlooked. One such coin is the South African 1 penny from 1942. At first glance, it might appear simple, a small, bronze disc stamped with a few letters and numbers, but to those who know its story, it is a window into a different world. The year 1942 was a time of global upheaval. The Second World War was raging, reshaping nations, economies, and everyday life. South Africa, like many countries, felt the weight of these events. Despite the turbulence, the South African Mint continued to produce coins, small pieces of metal that carried the nation's identity and economy forward. The 1 penny coin was not just a unit of currency, it was a reflection of a nation's resilience, a marker of continuity in uncertain times. Made primarily from bronze, the 1942 penny is deceptively simple. Its circular shape and modest size hide the craftsmanship required to produce it. Each coin was struck with precision, and even minor variations in the minting process can make one coin significantly rarer than another. The design itself is understated but symbolic. On one side, inscriptions remind the holder of the authority and legitimacy of the coin. The details, though small, speak to the care taken to create something that was meant to circulate widely, yet endure through countless transactions. Collectors and historians alike are drawn to this coin not just for its material, but for the stories embedded in its surface. Imagine the hands it has passed through over more than 70 years. Merchants counting pennies in bustling markets, children clutching coins as they play, travelers carrying it across provinces. Each scratch, each wear mark, tells a story. To a casual observer, it is just a coin. To a collector, it is a tangible connection to a past era, a bridge between the present and a world that no longer exists. The rarity of the 1942 penny lies in both its age and its condition. Coins from this era were produced in significant numbers, yet few have survived the passage of time in a state that preserves their original luster and detail. Factors such as storage conditions, handling, and even environmental changes have left most coins marked, worn, or corroded. The few that remain in near-perfect condition are therefore highly prized, sought after by collectors who understand that owning such a coin is akin to holding a fragment of history itself. But rarity alone does not define value. The story behind the coin enhances its allure. During the early 1940s, South Africa was undergoing shifts in both politics and society. Currency, in many ways, became a reflection of these changes. A small bronze coin might seem insignificant, but it served as a witness to history. Every transaction it participated in, every hand it passed through, made it a silent observer of life in a nation at war, of communities striving to continue their routines despite global turmoil, and of ordinary people whose lives were quietly shaped by the events of the time. In the world of numismatics, details matter. Experts study coins with meticulous care, examining not just the overall condition but the smallest variations in minting. Slight differences in weight, thickness, or inscriptions can turn an otherwise ordinary coin into a rare and valuable find. In the case of the 1942 South African 1 penny, certain versions, depending on the mint mark or minor design variations, can be exceptionally rare. These distinctions, often imperceptible to the untrained eye, can mean the difference between a coin worth a few dollars and one that commands tens of millions. Imagine holding such a coin. It feels heavy for its size, solid yet delicate, and as your fingers trace the inscriptions, you can almost sense the weight of the decades that have passed. You are touching something that has survived war, social change, and the relentless march of time. For collectors, this is the thrill, the connection between past and present, the tangible proof of history preserved in metal. The 1942 penny is not just a coin, it is a symbol of endurance, of the human tendency to create objects that outlast their creators. The journey of a coin from circulation to a collector's cabinet is often as fascinating as the coin itself. Many of these pennies remained in everyday use for decades, tucked into jars or pockets, forgotten, and then rediscovered. Some were preserved intentionally by those who recognized their potential value. Others survived by sheer chance, escaping the fate of being lost, melted down, or discarded. Every coin that has endured carries a story of survival, making it even more alluring to those who seek it. Collectors compete fiercely for rare examples. Auctions can become intense, with experts scrutinizing every detail before placing a bid. For the 1942 South African penny, the stakes are especially high. Because it is both historically significant and scarce in pristine condition, the coin has the potential to fetch extraordinary prices. The thrill of acquisition is not just about the monetary value but also about holding a piece of history that very few in the world can claim to possess. Over time, certain coins have achieved legendary status. Their rarity, combined with their historical context and exceptional preservation, makes them the stuff of collector dreams. The 1942 penny falls into this category. While many coins from the same era exist in worn or damaged states, only a select few have survived with all their details intact. These coins become icons in numismatic circles, representing the pinnacle of both collecting and historical preservation. To truly understand the allure of the 1942 South African penny, one must appreciate the passion of collectors. For many, it is not just a hobby but a lifelong pursuit. They travel, study, and invest with the goal of finding pieces that connect them to a past they can never directly experience. When they finally hold a coin like this penny, in immaculate condition, the experience is unparalleled. It is a rare convergence of history, art, and personal triumph, and then comes the moment that defines the legend. In rare instances, a coin of extraordinary condition, provenance, and significance can break all expectations of value. The 1942 South African 1 penny, in its absolute finest state, has been known to reach staggering heights. For the few fortunate enough to acquire it, the price is almost unimaginable. In the world of numismatics, this coin is a crown jewel, and the ultimate reward for those who recognize its worth. In a remarkable case, a single coin of this type, preserved perfectly through time, has achieved a value that defies belief: $50 million. The 1942 South African penny reminds us that value is not always in size or material, but in history, rarity, and the human connection to the past. What seems small and ordinary at first glance can, under the right circumstances, become extraordinary. It is a testament to endurance, to the stories that objects carry, and to the passion of those who seek to preserve fragments of history for future generations. And in that small, bronze circle, we find a story worth millions, both in dollars and in legacy.